Good afternoon from Chicago. I'm Karen Weigert. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer for the City of Chicago. And it's a pleasure to join you from afar for the Bay City's Low Carbon Built Environment and Infrastructure event. Chicagoans are delighted with some of the work we've been doing, and we want to share an update on some of our efforts as well as start a large dialogue with many of you who've been doing so many wonderful things as well. Under Mayor Emanuel's leadership, we've been working to ensure that Chicago is the most livable and environmentally friendly city. We want this to be the place where you can raise your family and grow your business, because for us, every decision can be a sustainable decision. We were really honored to be recognized recently for this by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Siemens Corporation, which named us the most sustainable large community in North America, and we're thrilled about that. We're also a leader in LEED buildings, having the most overall in the city, as well as the most within our municipal buildings. When we look at our work, we look not just in the city of Chicago, but we look beyond our borders, and we look for great partnerships and great ideas. And the C40 network helps us do that, and it lets us actively engage with other cities on sustainability challenges and on sustainability opportunities. And so through that network, we love getting an opportunity to look at great work in other cities. So needless to say, we've been following London's own sustainability accomplishments, which are many: your bike program, your congestion charge, and your work on public sector buildings, along with many other initiatives. One of the things that we're doing to continue to have ways to share these best practices is sharing the Sustainable Infrastructure Finance Network through C40. London's a great participant in that as we build this idea. And fundamentally, we want to find more ways to bring interesting and appropriate finance structures in to let us all do more infrastructure work. The piece that we'll be creating is the Chicago Infrastructure Trust. And we're building that to allow for transformative infrastructure projects to bring in new dollars to support work that couldn't happen otherwise for the benefit of our residents here in the city of Chicago. We look forward to learning more about the London Green Fund and other examples that are already out there in trying to tackle some of these challenges that we're all facing together. Mayor Emanuel says increasing sustainability throughout Chicago can create dramatic economic opportunity throughout our neighborhoods and improve the overall quality of life for residents. We really look at these opportunities as part of what makes Chicago a fantastic place to live, both today and tomorrow. One of the big areas within this, of course, then, are buildings. So as we look at all the buildings in Chicago, we've got about 500,000 heated and cooled structures, and it costs about $3 billion a year to heat, cool, and operate them. So that's a big opportunity for us. It's a big opportunity to create jobs as we think about the work that can happen there. It's also a big opportunity for us to save dollars as we look at the savings from addressing that $3 billion number. And fundamentally, it's a huge way for us to reduce emissions. Buildings are the largest source of emissions coming out of Chicago. So within that infrastructure trust, the first area of focus for us is going to be retrofit Chicago. And so that will be a couple $100 million that we're going to use to look directly at city assets and energy use there, reducing the energy use, creating jobs, and fundamentally reducing our emissions. But we don't own the majority of the buildings in the city. We want to do as much as we can on our own assets, but we were really delighted to announce a partnership with some private buildings recently. So we were able to announce Retrofit Chicago's Commercial Buildings Initiative. And this was an opportunity where we had 14 gorgeous private buildings, many of whom you can see behind me in the skyline, come forward and announce that they're going to do at least 20% energy efficiency improvements in the next 5 years. And they represent 14 million square feet of office space and hotels here in the city of Chicago. It's a fantastic opportunity, and when we partnered those dollars and those buildings with our buildings, it allowed us to join President Obama's National Better Buildings Challenge. It's a wonderful example of collaboration here in the city of Chicago and those partnerships that help us shape the city in which we all live. And that kind of collaboration happens in our city. It's also a great opportunity for us to continue to think about collaboration across cities and across countries. So we are delighted to have a chance to talk to you a little bit today about what we've been doing in Chicago, and look forward to the many successes that will come from the conference you're attending today. Thanks.